maybe a couple more verses, and then I'll see if there are any questions. Verse 16 says, Nasato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate satah ubhayorapi drishtontas tvanayos tattvadarshibhi. So, na asato vidyate bhavo. The non-existence has no existence. That is, that which doesn't exist, it's not. So we don't have to worry about it. Na abhavo vidyate sataha. Of that which exists, there's no non-existence. So something which exists can never be non-existent. Something which doesn't exist never comes into being. Ubhayorapi drishtontas tvanayos tattvadarshibhi. The tattvadarshis, the knowers of truth, they see the complete picture of both of these, of non-existence and of existence. Now this may seem like such an obvious statement that it's stupid, but no, there's a great idea behind it. That is, it may seem like that which doesn't exist, that which exists, exists. So that's like saying what is white and what is black. That doesn't make any sense. There's no need to say it. Non-existent doesn't exist, well, that's why it's called non-existent. And that which exists, exists. That's why it's called the existent. And so, but no, the idea is that which doesn't exist, it never comes into being. And that which exists, it never ceases to exist. What about all of the things that we see? Things that are constantly coming into existence and disappearing. You have a pot, you make it, or you have a lump of clay, you make it into a pot, and so the pot comes into existence. It wasn't there before, you made it out of clay, and then you dry it and you use it for a few days, and then your kid knocks it off the table and it breaks, and so the pot's no longer there. So there was something that didn't exist before, it came into being, and now it's gone out of existence. But no, the idea here is that something that has real existence is eternal. Things that come into being and go out of a being, they're only appearances. They're not a reality. So that includes this body. This body is born and this body is going to die. Before this body was born, it didn't exist. But suddenly it's this new combination of matter, and when it dies, it goes out of existence. Or does it? The idea is that in physics you have the idea of the conservation of mass and the conservation of energy. So this body came into being, it wasn't here before, but the matter which composes the body was there. And when it dies, whether it's buried or whether it's cremated or whether it's eaten by worms or whether it's fed on a tower like the Parsis do to vultures, the matter that was here in this body, that still continues to exist. The energy which was running this body, it goes back into the cosmic energy, it goes into the general field of energy. Energy is transformed in its manifestation, matter is transformed in its manner of manifestation. But the matter itself and the energy itself don't go anywhere. And so there's just the appearance of different combinations. And so that's why it's said that when you can make out of clay many different forms. The forms are temporary, but the clay remains. The clay remains. So of course it could be said that the clay doesn't remain forever also. That's true. The clay came into being at a long time ago through geological processes. The earth itself, or to speak of the geological processes, the earth itself and its geological processes, that also didn't exist at one time. The earth itself was born. But the matter out of which the earth was born, that pre-existed. And so all of this is just a physical world is just a transformation of matter and energy. But the matter and energy are constants. And so that which really exists, that continues to exist. It's just manifestations which change. You can bring the parts of the pieces of matter together and make different combinations. One of them called a human body, another called the ash which is left after the cremation of the body. plus all of the gases that have been released through the cremation and the energy which has been released through the fire and so forth. But the thing itself remains. But here he's not speaking of the conservation of matter and energy. He's speaking of something even more profound. He's speaking of existence itself. Existence itself. That is the existence of Brahman, the existence of pure spirit, the transcendent existence of the divine being. That doesn't come into being and it doesn't go out of being. That is eternal. It's unchanging. And so that is what he's talking about here. That even the matter as we know it of this universe, if the Big Bang is true, that's the generally accepted idea now in science of the Big Bang, but there are scientists, not just quacks, but scientists who don't agree with the Big Bang theory. I've known some myself. No, they're not people who believe in creationism or intelligent design, but scientists. But they don't believe in the Big Bang theory. They think there are other scientific explanations for the present expansion of the universe, etc. They believe in a steady state universe. And so either way,